do you think we are?
At this stage, we're just trying to put the patches together. As long as there's
on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, again, it depends on the kind of bandwidth you have at home. I mean, I have a pretty decent internet at home, so it pretty much works for me. I'll say I'm at a 7 out of a 10 at the moment.
So in your house, you as a person, you have all your devices, inanimate objects connected, so that it makes your life a lot easier?
Yeah, majority of them, because most of the time in my office, we're actually trying to teach the next generation of IT to high schools. So I use my house as, you know, a lab rat, you know, to make these things work, and then take it to the school such that a group of students can always turn off AC when they're home, and if they forgot it on at home in the schools, they can turn it off. They can control the power. The power can sense when there are people in the room and automatically go off when there's nobody in the room, hereby saving cost of power and all of that. You know, so at the end of the day, yes, you can say that I have quite a number of Internet of Things working for me at home.
Okay, Joseph, for you, he's talked about Nigeria on the scale of 1 to 10, maybe about 4, you said?
For me, about 7. Yeah.
About 7 for you as a person?
Yeah, because not everybody can afford that kind of internet.
Nigeria generally? 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is our level?
Well, for me, I would say 2. And I'll explain why. Now, Internet of Things, I believe, goes beyond very strong internet connection. It goes beyond having that infrastructure available to everybody. Now, most of these devices we're talking about are devices that are equipped with sensors, actuators, and all that. And these devices don't require so much bandwidth. The first stage I think we need to go over, the first hurdle I think we need to cross as a country is the understanding phase. If we're able to cross that hurdle, go over that hurdle, then, I mean, our rate of adoption is going to increase by so much. Now, in Nigeria, when you ask me that question, what would normally come to my mind is to dimension it into different industries. Now, my colleague here has spoken so well about one of the industries, which is the, you know, smart home industry, or one of the consumer-focused industry. Now, if you take this same concept to the enterprise, you take it to agriculture, you take it to traffic, you take it to city management, you take it to, you know, a lot of the other enterprise areas, you get to find out that most of these organizations, most of these institutions already have what it takes. They already have the necessary infrastructure. What they need is just that shift in thinking, the understanding of the real value proposition that Internet of Things brings. So in agriculture, for example, you still find our farmers trying to play catch-up with the Western world. We're still trying to, you know, embrace mechanized farming. If you go up north, you still find a lot of people manually doing a lot of the activities that have been automated in other countries. Manual labor, you know, tilling the ground, tilling the soil, putting manure and all that. Now, the Western world has already gone over that. Now, where the Western world is where you have sensors planted on the ground. And these sensors tell the farmers the level of acidity, the level of nutrients. The sensors can predict the yield from a particular patch of soil, you know, and then the farmers are able to, you know, go ahead and either refertilize the soil or, you know, do whatever tweaking they need to do to increase their yield and all that. And I mean, the list goes on and on. I feel that what's really holding us back as a country is the knowledge part. We already have a lot of what it takes. Yes, 4G as it exists right now is still, I would say, about 60–70% in most cities in Nigeria. Sometimes it's slow. 5G is around the corner, with promises of being more efficient, you know, and more powerful and all that. But most of these devices we're talking about don't really need so much, you know. And for me, what I think we can do to bridge that gap, education, like I said, schools, they need to learn, they need to change curriculums. organizations need to send their people for training. They need to understand the value propositions of the IoT and all that. I mean, I believe I'm getting ahead of myself. So
you mentioned that we are on. If you must rate the level we are in is 2, and the understanding phase is what is even lacking right now. Because I'm just thinking, some of us, we have our phones, for instance, and maybe 80% of the functions of that phone, you never even get to use it. True. Some people they are not so technologically savvy like that, and then you're now asking, connect your phone to your wristwatch, or your wristwatch to your television, you know, or to your fridge. They're thinking, why are we running faster than we can?
So like I said, adoption, you're right. Phones, like you said, already interacting with each other. When I got here, I've never been here, my first time, and I got here using Google Maps, and Google Maps accurately predicted the amount, the time it was going to take me from my house to this point. So what it does is to pull data from thousands of devices that are along the route and predict my traffic pattern, or the traffic pattern, time and all that, congestion on the roads and all that. And it was able to tell me that leaving your house, you're going to get to channels in 24 minutes. And I got here in 24 minutes and a few seconds. Now, how many people know that that feature even exists? How many people are utilizing that? Well, like I said, the Internet of Things it's a beautiful new concept. It's coming, whether you like it or not. It's here already, like my colleague said. I mean, the first example I gave about the fridge that does inventory management was invented as far back as 1982, and it's been operational since then. Now, it's here already. The issue is, are we ready to adopt it? Are we ready to embrace it? Are we ready to accept it? You know, and I think the earlier, the quicker we do, the better. Better for us.
You know, Adesanya, the issue of Internet of Things is a dicey one in Nigeria because of the security implications. How much of privacy can we have? But you will answer that question when we come back from this break. So don't go away.